Hi Maker, it's Charlotte with Makesy. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a cotton wick candle using our performance cotton wicks. So when you make any candle, first you need to have a game plan. Pick which vessel you'll use, determine your wax, what fragrances you'd like, and last, but certainly not least, you'll pick your wick. If you need help finding the right wick, head to Makesy.com and use our wick selection guide. We'll give you a quick quiz on what your wax and vessel type is, and then we'll give you a recommendation on which wick to use. So today I'm using our Posh vessel. This is a super cute 7-ounce fill vessel, and you can see it comes with a super chic lid. So this is my vessel. I'm gonna be using 2 fragrance oils today. I'm blending 2 fragrances that are from our Emoji collection. So these are functional fragrances and they have mood boosting benefits. So I chose the Lotus Blossom and Mandarin fragrance and Tropicana Tea Rose and Papyrus. This is kind of a mix of like a clean, fresh fragrance and a sweeter fragrance, but they both have really beautiful, fruity, more tropical notes in them, so they're gonna blend together beautifully. Last, for my wax, I'm using our virgin coconut soy wax today. Let's get started making a candle. First, after you've taken the wick selection guide and determined which wick size to use, then grab all your components and get them ready to get making. I've already pre-melted my wax to 185 degrees. And today I'm using our wax melter, which if you plan on making candles for any period of time, the wax melter is an investment you will thank yourself later for grabbing. It will allow you to make way more candles way faster and be very efficient with your manufacturing. So now let's get started measuring. As I mentioned, this is a 7-ounce fill vessel, and I'm gonna be using 2 10 mLs. A 10 ml is equivalent to 0.33 ounces. So add those 2 together and I have 0.66 ounces of fragrance. This is gonna give me about a 9 to 10% fragrance load in a 7-ounce candle. So the way that you'll determine your fragrance is by, basically the easiest is to use the number 10. If you wanted to use a 10% fragrance load, you need 1 ounce of fragrance, that's 1 part fragrance, and 9 ounces of wax, or 9 parts wax. 10% of your formula will be made up by fragrance, and the other 90% will be made up by wax. Together, they should equal 100% of your total ounce fill. So I'm gonna start measuring out my wax. Since I'm using 0.66 ounces of fragrance oil, I need to measure out 6.33 ounces of wax. So first things first, I'm gonna put my pouring pitcher on my scale and I'm gonna tare it out. That's gonna bring it to 0 and eliminate the weight of the pitcher that I have already on here. Now I'm gonna add some pre-melted wax. Let's check how good I am at this. And you guys won't believe this, but I actually have 6.2 on here, so tiny bit more. Plenty. Okay, and we are at 6.33 ounces. So I'm gonna add in first Lotus Blossom and Mandarin. Really fresh, clean, sweet mandarin in here. Beautiful fragrance. Definitely does its job at being a mood boosting fragrance. I can promise you're gonna be feeling pretty good while you make this candle. And next, Tropicana Tea Rose and Papyrus. So this one is a bit more clean and fresh, but both kind of give me like I'm by the ocean in a beautiful tropical arena. Whenever you add your fragrance to your wax, you wanna mix it for 2 to 3 minutes. So put on your favorite song and jam out for a minute. The purpose of stirring your fragrance for this long is to ensure that your wax and fragrance fully bind together. This is gonna ensure the best fragrance throw. That is how strong your fragrance is gonna smell, both in the wax when it's cold and while your candle is lit. Also, it's going to ensure that you don't have any consistency issues where perhaps the fragrance isn't mixed effectively into the entire wax blend. We're gonna keep stirring this for 2 to 3 minutes. Then we're gonna be ready to wick our candles. Okay, my wax and fragrance is ready to go, and I'm going to wick my candles now. Normally I actually probably would have done this first, and if I'm making a lot of candles at once, then I will wick all of them before I pour any wax. So I'm going to be double wicking the posh vessel today. When you double wick a candle, you want to place the wicks equidistant from one another and from the sides of the vessel. That means that the wicks should have equal spacing in between one another and the same equal spacing from one another to either side of the vessel. I'm also going to use this really awesome wick bar to hold my wicks in place while I pour the candle. And one of the things that I really like about this wick bar is that these wick bars, if you make a lot of candles, they can become a bit loose over time and not hold the wick as tightly. But this comes with a little cap at the end, and that cap is basically just going to be there to ensure that no matter how many candles you pour, they're always going to be held tightly in place. So I love that feature. And now I'm ready to pour my candle. Whenever you're pouring a candle with a lid, a little tip is just to ensure that you don't pour it too high, because you need to leave space for the lid to go down on top of the candle, especially if your lid has a gasket. So be mindful of that. With the posh vessel, the lid sits right on top, so I'm not too concerned about it. Now I'm gonna let this candle sit here for 24 hours and fully cool. Then I'm gonna remove my wick bar and I'm going to trim my wicks. After that, I'm gonna wait another day to 2 days for my candle to fully cure, that is for the molecules in the wax and fragrance to fully stop moving, and then this beauty is ready to burn. Thanks so much for watching, and let us know what questions you have about how to make your very own cotton wick candle in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay in the know on all the latest makers tips and tricks. Now go make it happen.